And welcome back to something Zelda related. I actually kind of forgot to schedule a Zelda video today. That's exactly what happened. There's nothing more than that. Also, I'm using a different mic because those videos were recorded like 5 months ago, so that's why this will sound different. But I wanted to do something Zelda anyway, so discussing the latest news and my 2 cents worth, or 1 cent because that's all it's made on YouTube. Lol. So Emily Rogers, if you don't know, is known for leaking stuff on, like, typically Nintendo news, but I think she's also leaked other Nintendo news, like rumors and stuff. So that's kind of like her job. She's sort of a sleuth in that regard. At least that's how I interpret her role. I don't really follow her, but I'm aware of her presence in the gaming industry because of how prominent she is. She apparently made a remark recently. Well, first of all, she actually closed down her Twitter account like a few months ago, and then actually just came back and dropped a huge bombshell of several Zelda rumors. The main one being that Zelda will actually be cross-platform between Wii U and the NX, which doesn't surprise me at all. It's a Twilight Princess scenario where it was like, oh, we're just gonna put it on, NX. Just to basically help out the NX, but also to not alienate Wii U owners. So it's probably going to be one of those games where it's not actually that good on the NX, to be completely fair. Just because of how, it was designed for one console. It's going to be better on that console, usually is how it works. One exception being Twilight Princess, because most people like the motion controls, with some exceptions. So the next big piece of rumor stuff in this article was that Zelda would actually breaking tradition by allowing character choices, thus being a female version of Link. Thus, this is opening up a humongous can of worms. I'm just gonna put it that way, over whether Link is a character or an avatar. I can go both ways, really. Different games, like in Hyrule Warriors, Link is obviously a character because, well, Linkle exists. But Link is also, in other games, sort of, kind of like a vessel for the player to interact with the world. So I have no problems with Link being a girl. I know a lot of people do have problems with Link being a girl. And, this has been predicted for a very, very long time because Linkle was in Hyrule Warriors. So everyone is like, okay, they must be considering this for a mainline game as well. And also, here's the other thing. Look at Link's appearance in the E3 trailer, and he looks kinda feminine. Just saying. So, I mean, like, I remember hearing the theories back in time that, based on his, like, sort of his face and build and everything, and other than being, like, super, like, flat-chested, that Link could go either way with this particular version of Link. But we'll have to see if that comes to pass. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't also be surprised if this doesn't happen and then everyone's mad at Nintendo for something that was just a rumor that they didn't actually implement, because this is a thing that happens with the gaming industry. Something is rumored, everyone takes it at face value, and then when it's just a rumor, then everyone gets mad about it. That's kind of how these things go. So the other big piece of news, I guess, would be about, like, the NX. Supposedly it's 4K, which that's a thing. So obviously the jump would probably mostly just be graphical. If, I'm just guessing that it would be a graphical jump, but probably nothing too big. I don't think it'll be 4K. I mean, like, Naughty Dog from Sony, I think, has even stated that 4K is, like, super unlikely this gen. But I don't actually have a source. If I find an article about it, like when I'm putting the video together, I just did. I was Googling it. So I'll link it in the description, the article about why 4K is impossible. But yeah, that's, to me, very sketchy. I don't think it's gonna happen. The other big rumor is that this will actually be the first first mainline Zelda game to feature voice acting to a limited extent. It'll be like Metroid Prime 3 Corruption for the Wii, where basically everyone talks except the protagonist, which to me, I think is a totally fair trade. Link talk, that's because of the whole thing of him being like the vessel for the player. I think there's some quote from Miyamoto about Link being a, air quotes, link to the player. So it'd be weird if Link talked independently. But I think it isn't too far-fetched. I mean, they've been kind of dancing around that a little bit by having like Hylian. To be honest, okay, this is kind of a stretch, but if the entire game is voiced in Hylian, I'd be totally down for that. It'd be really weird, and because okay, here's the thing: Midna talks in gibberish, Fi kind of talks in gibberish, so I don't know. I think it would work actually. Just have them all talking, like saying stuff, but like maybe in Hylian. Okay, that's a really weird thought, but more likely it'll probably be dubbed. More likely it won't be dubbed actually, more likely they'll just be like subtitled. I mean like Tokyo Mirage Sessions isn't being dubbed, which is a surprising move to me, though it's not surprising because of how Japanese the game is, not to sound racist or anything, but you can't deny the game is looking really J-pop right now. I'm full disclosure, I am really looking forward to the game, so yeah. That's all the Zelda news and all the recent NX news. Just the 4K mostly. And also, of course, the speculation is the NX would also possibly be a launch. I mean, Zelda would probably be a launch title for the NX. And actually, that this is also spurring some discussion that maybe Sony and Microsoft might release second versions of their console to basically match Nintendo's specs, and also just to throw this out there, Microsoft has actually distinctly denied that this possibility is going to happen. They say there's no Xbox 1.5 or anything like that. That's debunked. Sony is staying quiet. That's not surprising me at all, but we'll have to see. But it is said to be a very good move that now that technology is getting cheaper, then Nintendo's going to go all out on this console. Mostly just because they kind of have to, because they have to stay like approximately like half a step above them, above the competition. So when they jump forward, then it's like, not that far. Like the Xbox is supposed to be like half as powerful as PS4, and yet it's managing perfectly fine. It's not selling better, but it's still surviving. The Wii U is like a good like 10 times less powerful from what I've heard, just because it's basically like PS3 in terms of architecture, so that's a problem. But that's enough rambling about tech specs and the NX. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow when there won't be a Zelda video or a Sonic video, but there will be something a little bit special, so look forward to that.